Locked on target.
Hi crew, welcome to Hot Chocolate Chronicles, and man, have we got a show for you. And bonus points if you know what I was trying to reference there. But in case you guys are new to Hot Chocolate Chronicles, it's where we share a drink as we talk about the life, universe, and everything. And that includes video games, my family, channel news, whatevs. So it's just a conversation. I talk to you in the comments, and I give the main message here. So let's begin and have a drink together. We are continuing our mystery flavor thing until all the mystery flavors are done. So I'm gonna take a guess after drinking, and then I will show the camera what flavor it is. So. Did I get caramel again? Let's see. Butterscotch. Close. Very close. Oh my word. Like it's actually better caramel flavor than the caramel. But then again, I like butterscotch more than caramel. So, yep. That's crazy hot chocolate flavor day today is butterscotch. So if you want caramel flavored drink, or actually it tastes like those Werther's things, like the golden ones. Oh no, product placement. Oh my gosh, they're gonna freaking blow up. Oh my gosh. But yeah, the Werther things that are little golden things that you can get for like $1 for like 50 lozenges or whatever. This is pretty much that in liquid form. So it's actually pretty good. So, yeah, that's good. So, exciting channel stuff. I'm at, as of this recording, 75 subs, which is crazy to me, and 7,000 views. And this is only crazy because in the last 2 weeks, I have gained like 20 subs. And you may think to yourself, why is that a crazy thing? Well, let's just say my YouTube channel's been going on for like, I think 5-6 months now, and I only netted like 56 subs in that time. Then in like 2 weeks, when I get a review, when I'm starting to kick in with 20 minutes a game, doing it for reals, like it's starting to take off now. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. And before I was just doing Let's Plays of like Half-Life 2 and Scrolltopia, which are kind of unsearchable games at this point. I mean, Scrolltopia isn't, but, you know, Half-Life is. You know, I was doing Gamer Life and doing more community things. So now I'm starting in my review system, and that's really taken off. And that's kind of what I think, why I think this is doing well, is while I'm doing stuff, people are seeing my stuff and actually watching a lot more. Like all of my bars on my creators program are like here is oh my gosh, the review for Legend of K. You know, like that's what happened on all of my stuff, and that didn't go viral because of happenstance. I got that up at the minute of when the embargo lifted. So that got me way up in, still on front page if you look up like Legend of K PC review. Even though it's titled 20 minutes a game, which I need to figure out a better title for 20 minutes a game. I like 20 minutes a game because it's catchy. Like 20 minutes a game, come here and see gameplay, but it doesn't encompass the real meaning of the show, because it does give 20 minutes of gameplay, but the show is half review, half let's play. So it's 20 minutes a game doesn't exactly accompany it, but I can't use like WTF is because obvious reasons, you know, or you know, like that type of thing. Because no matter what I use, it's kind of I kind of like the arcadey thing of there's a 20-minute countdown, and once you get there, boom, it's done, and then you have to stop immediately what you're doing. And if I can't show you it's a good game in 20 minutes, then obviously it's probably not a good game. So and that's kind of what I like about that format, is if I demonstrate the features of the game in 20 minutes and you see for yourself that, man, this isn't going to be so good for me, then right there, my review just doesn't even matter. and that's okay. That's fine. And that's why I encourage you, watch as much of that series as you want to, and to make your informed decision. That's what I mean, I'll do my best to be entertaining for 20 minutes, but that's not the purpose of it. The purpose is I'm going to play this game. You're going to evaluate it and see if it's right for you. Okay, and that's fine. That's what I geared it for. Is I want this to help developers, and that's why I have no problem supporting indies with my channel, because I believe in making games and for smaller niche audiences, and I view my channel as a way to get their message out to the masses. Okay, and I know that I make the sweet YouTube monies. Well, I will tell you how much the sweet YouTube monies makes for me. It is not enough to even pay for this mug with the hot chocolate in it in the past 5 months. Now, granted, I don't have like the major Survivor, or not Survivor, but sub base, but you kind of get what I'm saying. It's not like it's crazy good monies. So now I wanted to also talk about why I'm wearing a hat today. If you saw Captain Chris out in the wild, which, granted, I'm not a very wild person anymore. I pretty much just go from upstairs to downstairs and out every few weeks or every week to church, and then pretty much whenever we need something or need groceries, I'm out and about. But besides that, I'm pretty much a basement hermit. So at this point, other than spending time with my family, I pretty much just do channel stuff and channel stuff and more channel stuff, which is fine. I love doing it, but you won't find me out in the wild very much unless I'm at like a gaming store or playing like at an arcade machine or just hanging out. Maybe if I meet some friends in this area eventually, we'll do coffee or something. But those are things I love doing when you have money. But I wear hats. So that's where that big long rant come from. So I wear a lot of hats. This is one of my own hats. I haven't worn this in a long time, but I looked at the shape of this hat, and I think it's perfect to do instead of a helmet. An engineer's hat is not typically what I wear, but you can't put headphones over a fedora, which is what I typically wear. And yes, I'm one of those guys. So that's kind of what I'm looking at, is the shape of having a pure black, nix the design here, put an emblem right here, type of thing, and then be done. And that'll be my kind of thing I wear while I'm twitching or YouTubing or whatever. And that'll help me once I get older, because I'm starting to get gray hairs and whatnot, and my hair is getting thinner. I'm not balding, but my hair is getting thinner as I get older. So who knows when that's going to be a problem for the channel. So might as well get a hat right now and be done with it. You know what I mean? And it's very comfy. Well, this one's kind of small since I bought this when I was 13. So yeah, that's kind of a I need to update that and get my own logo on a engineer style hat. So that's kind of a preview, and I want to ask you what you think of it down in the comments, because I mean, not like this hat particularly, but would an engineer's hat work for what this is, and kind of as to define my character, like Captain Chris on the internet, is to kind of picture me with the hat and whatnot, because I do like wearing hats quite a bit, and I think it will set apart my character because it will be on every shot. So because I'm always have my face cam running, well, almost always, and that's a thing, and generally I'm very happy. Oh, super awesome family news. Super awesome family news. My wife got hours, and I don't mean some hours. I mean a heck ton of hours. We are gonna have money, and I mean actual money for my family. And I don't want to get too excited because things change all the time for us. Like we go through periods of like good and bad and seasons or whatever. But we figured out we can recoup all of our funds for in the savings if she works at this pace all of August, and then I will start being able to funnel funds. Yes, actual funds from our family's paycheck to the channel. And what does that mean? I've calculated out from what I can say, and we're still going to be tithing and putting money in the bank and saving and whatnot, probably around, for the channel, $24 a week is what I would get from her hours, which abouts at minimum. And that's just with one workplace. And but basically what that means is we're going to have a heck ton of support coming to the channel. But we're bunkering down for August to re-inflate our bank accounts to kind of get a cushion to be on. To put it in perspective, we lived off of our bank accounts for 3 months without hours, I believe. And before we even had hours, her previous hours were like 16 hours, 20 hours a week. And it was not enough to support the family, which was crazy. But let's just say she has a ton of hours, and they're mostly overnight hours. And that's a good thing because she's not here, but Abigail is typically sleeping, and that means I can record at night. And the other important thing, she is here during the days, which means I can work on the channel still while we have enough money to provide like food and savings and putting all that stuff and doing that and working on the channel. And that is so exciting for me. Like, this is my dream, guys. This is my dream, and I want to do it full time. And I know it's not like, oh man, I'm in this for the monies and whatever. No, I'm not in this for the money. But what I'm saying is this is my passion. And if I can do this and bring content to you guys full time, and I'm not saying like, ooh, join my Patreon, because I don't even have Patreon. I'm just saying, like, I love this. This is so fun. I would do this even if I didn't make a dime. Okay? And it's exciting to me that we can enter into this realm of not having to have the channel to support me, and my family can help me succeed at bringing videos to you guys. So that being said, in the future, I will probably set up a Patreon, but not for things that you're thinking right now. So, like the podcast is every other week, okay? And that's because Evan, Anna's super busy. Aylis is super busy. Evan works pretty much full time, and he's only gets 1 day off a week. So we run the podcast every other week on the day he has off. But what I could do, if the podcast kind of is whatever, is set up a Patreon. So the podcast would be every week, and then I could pay them directly for their time to appear on the podcast. And I'm passionate about doing the podcast enough that I would do that, but that would make it more worth their time to be on the podcast, because they don't get anything other than just chatting with us for a few hours and whatnot. And I want to make sure they get something out of the podcast as well. And that's kind of what that's more what I would do, is set up a Patreon, is be like, well, I want to upgrade my editing software to like Adobe Premiere, and that's like $30 to $50 a month. And you know what I mean? Like, or XSplit for the podcast to make XSplit Premium to make that go smoothly, because I'm going to be real honest. It is hard to do the podcast on OBS, because OBS is so finicky when it comes to screen switching and things. And I really want to kick up the production value on the podcast by doing things like switching scenes when we're talking about a game and throwing gameplay down. at the bottom, and things like that, and you really can't do that on OBS as well or as quickly as you need to be when you're live, and that's something I would really want to fix. And that's more of my dreams there. But that's kind of a side tangent. But like, I don't use Photoshop. Okay, I use Paint.net. 99% of what I do on the channel is all using freeware. Okay, so the only thing I do that I have that isn't paid like in advance or as a subscription is nothing. I mean, I bought everything outright. So, but what I'm saying is there's ways that the channel's going to be supported, and then I could put that money towards that I get still from the family to buying new games and upgrading equipment and whatnot. I'm not saying that I don't need your support, because I do need your support. But what I'm saying is right now, we're in the stage of our lives where we can put money towards the channel ourselves, and my family believes in this enough that we can bring those videos to you guys, regardless of your support of us. But again, I'm not saying don't, because I could use the support, because all that does is bring more content from me to you, but my family does believe in me, and we are making our way to bring more content to you guys regardless. But that's kind of where that is. But as far as video games go, I pretty much ranted all about the news yesterday. So I want to tackle this subject of that Gametrailers has so gracefully blessed us with, as which video game franchises deserve to die. First off, let me say, Gametrailers, you are a leech on the back of the gaming society. You have never published one meaningful article in your entire existence as a website. You have not published anything worthwhile on YouTube other than reposting press footage and reposting things, which now I'm on the other side of the thing, of this, and it's basically releasing unedited footage, throwing ads up on your site, and writing short little blurbs about what games you're going to release, and that is not content creation, okay? That is half the effort that I put into, or anyone, even a 12-year-old puts more effort into what they do than what you do for your content creation. And that really needs to stop on the internet, of just posting trailers and posting things that are press release, putting ads on them and calling them your own, and making money and making a business off of it. That is not cool, okay? I've never seen, I mean, I've run into Gametrailers before. 95% of what I've seen have been clickbait. Not once have I seen an interview that I wanted to watch. Not once have I seen anything worthwhile, that type of thing. I have seen clickbait after clickbait after clickbait. So let's just say, please don't tell us what video games deserve to die. I'm not just fanboying, because there are some franchises that I think could use a break, but no one's artistic vision deserves to die. Not even Call of Duty deserves to die, even though they copy-paste whatever. Not even the little stupid Steam, whatever scam games that keep on coming out with, where they copy and paste mods and whatever. Those don't deserve to die. People are still getting experience, and yes, guess what? There's positives to that, because one, no one's going to buy your game again because you put your name on something and it was junk. So when they see that you as a creator made that and look at your current game, that you're only hurting yourself. So it stands as an Ebenezer or a tombstone or an epitaph to pretty much a game designs company. If you release one of those games, no one's going to buy your product. Okay? plus Steam refunds right now just doesn't make that a problem. So please release your trash games on Steam. We, the content creators, will combat that and do whatever. Not even that needs to die. Okay, we as a gaming community can weed out the little peoples that just are in it for the money. Okay, we can actually find good creators through channels like Total Biscuit, through my channel, through anyone else's channel. And yes, I did just put that in my name in the same vein as Total Biscuit, because I am here for you guys to. Again, that's what 20 minutes a game is for, is so you guys can see for yourself if a game is right for you. So, and, you know, my editorial on there too, because it's my channel, so. What I wanted to kind of get into is, there is a bunch of series that they're like, let's go to Reddit and see what people don't like, and that they just copy and pasted that said they need to die. And what was weird is Call of Duty didn't make the list, and things like, I mean, Assassin's Creed, it was a given, but things like Neptunia, okay, which obviously they haven't played a Neptunia game, because they're quite original storyline wise every game, and the tropes and the way the game works is different, and it's just like the battle system still being refined. So every Neptunia game you play is still different enough. It's not like the same or whatever, but like keep in mind we're talking about remaking Final Fantasy VII, and let me tell you, Final Fantasy didn't make the list, but Final Fantasy does need to die in my mind, okay? Not like die, but I mean like go away for a little bit and come back once it's found itself again, because Final Fantasy has been super cynical in the past, and in my personal theology as a Christian, most people will claim that I have a cynical view of the world because I believe we are all born with an inherent sinful nature, and we are all drawn towards evil, and that we cannot live perfect lives because sin has enslaved us. That type of thing. Final Fantasy 13? Whoa. Like, someone hates God there. And I don't mean just like hate like it's a bad thing, but I mean whoever wrote that has some serious theological issues they need to work out with God and what they think about God, because man, is that like a cynical view of humanity and what makes us human. And Final Fantasy has been historically agnostic, and that type of thing, and that's cool. I love playing them. I love getting differing worldview opinions, unlike most people. You know what I mean? Like, finding someone who believes different is exciting to me, okay? It's one of those things where it's like exploring. Okay, you guys know that I'm into exploratory games and whatnot. I want to find out why they believe what they believe, and I want to see what makes them tick and why they believe different than me. And not because I want to change them, but because I want to know how they tick, okay? And that's kind of what I believe. But let's just talk a little bit. Gametrailers, I don't really like your approach to this. I get why you made your title this way, but why is Tales of on this? I'm going to be fanboy here, but why in the heck is Tales of series on your list? Every game has been improving on one another. And you're like, well, Tales of Grace's F had a forgettable cast. Yes, it had a forgettable cast, but it also introduced a major system of swapping characters into battle. Well, Xillia was... Oh, we didn't talk about Xillia because you just forgot about it. Well, Xillia revolutionized the battle system, and now the battles and combat fight about on 4 times speed. So a lot more skill goes into the combat with active dodging and whatnot. And let me tell you, the conflict in Tales of Xillia 1 was superior and on par with Tales of Symphonia. And that says a lot for me. Tales of Symphonia was my first Tales of game. Okay, like a lot of people here in the States. And I was blown away by that. By the way, Tommy, this is after watching your video, so of course I have to comment. I didn't look this up before the video, but you said, oh, Tales of blah, 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 ripping off Yggdrasil being the big tree, whatever, Final Fantasy V. Tell me what Secret of Mana is, and I have to see which one published first. Chrono Trigger, sorry, not Chrono Cross. Chrono Trigger deals with the same themes from the same era. Yggdrasil is a theme that is found in like 99.99% of JRPGs. So of course it's going to show up in the Tales of games eventually. It's very... I mean, even Etrian Odyssey 4 had Yggdrasil in it. Actually, come to think of it, isn't Yggdrasil in like all the Etrian Odysseys? Huh. I didn't really pay attention to the storylines of the other ones. Etrian Odyssey 4 was the only one that I actually like cared about the story enough. The other ones I was like, must grind, must complete all maps in the game because I love drawing the maps in that game. Because again, explorer. So when I get the ability to draw my own maps, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exciting. I can go out and explore and draw maps. So actually, I should probably do that in real life. That appeals to me, is to be like a cartographer going out and mapping the areas around me and whatnot, but it's already been done. So I'm like, laziness. Because it's already been done. But man, that actually sounds fun. Maybe I should try that sometime. But I digress. But anyways, I get what you mean, but Tales of games come out like every 2 years or so. So that's not like crazy. That's like not spamming franchises or whatnot. What game I think really needs to take a break that deserves and probably is going to get negative on this list? Mario. Mario needs to take a break. And I mean, he just needs to rest a little bit, find his design again. Miyamoto get some inspiration, go toward the countryside, because all of Miyamoto's best work comes when he's inspired by things around him, obviously. When you're just trying to create, oh my gosh, we need another Mario game for the new console. Oh my gosh, timeline, need release, and then you put out a subpar product everyone knows. Then when you release Super Mario World, like few months later, or a year and a half later, then it's a pretty decent game. Everyone's like, oh, okay, I get it now. So, yeah, just rest a little bit, Mario. We don't want you to break your back by rushing design and coming out with junky games and subpar quality from Nintendo. So, that being said, I am ready to give a new F-Zero a chance. Okay? I have never played the series except over friend's house, but we haven't seen a good arcadey racer like that since pretty much Wipeout on the PlayStation series. That's it. And the people are going to be like, oh my gosh, you compared Wipeout to F-Zero. Wipeout is F-Zero, okay? It is literally the same thing, except it's Sony, and they don't have interesting little anime characters. But yeah, it's Sony ripping off, because Sony never does anything original. It's like the Apple of video games, okay? Sony rips off what someone else does, makes it cool, and everyone loves it. Same thing that Apple does. Sorry if you're an Apple fan, but Apple doesn't have an original bone in their body. And they're like, before you go iPhone, Pocket PCs did 10 times more at the same time. Same price, same everything. And guess what? They didn't have proprietary anything. And I could actually use a full-sized keyboard with it. Oh, and I had a sliding phone that it was actually more of a Pocket PC than a phone. But it did phone, too, with Windows 5 Pocket Edition or something like that. But it was laughable when the iPhone came out. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. You get to so much with the phone. I was like, I was doing that since I was 12 on my Pocket PC. And like, nope, 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 nope. I get it. They made it popular, whatever. But, before back in the day, Windows phones were doing the same thing. It's so funny. They steal off of each other. And I'm not saying Microsoft is any saint as far as intellectual property goes. But, oh, geez. Like, Sony just rips off everyone as soon as like it never has any good ideas of its own. It's always just it takes someone else's idea, makes it better, and sells it, which is okay. We need people like that because that forces competition. But grow a pair for once, Sony. Start something new and try to be a leader, not a follower. Okay, but I love my PS3. It was great until you removed all the features that made it like awesome, like having Linux on it, and love those firmware updates every week. But there's some great games on the PS3, and I actually like it a lot better than my grass mower of a 360. So that sounds like a rocket taking off every time it turns on. So yeah, it's well, I've probably stirred up a lot of fanboys here. So I probably should take a drink and go hide and record something else because I probably just ticked off a lot of people with those comments. My apologies. I don't mean to be inflammatory. I just mean to voice my opinions because, hey, tell me why I'm wrong in the comments or tell me why I'm right. So, hey, until we meet again, stay on target and let's share a drink to close it off. All right. Thank you guys, and peace out.